Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Sean Kober. You are listening to the Live, Train, Perform podcast. In today's episode, we are going through my 5-minute fitness tips. This is where I give you some quick and dirty tips to allow you to get the most out of your training regime. So anyone that's been listening to the podcast for a while or following me on social media will have heard me say the following, and that is, it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. All right, so that is going to be the theme for today's episode. Now, what I mean by this is that there's a principle called specific adaptation to impose demands, okay, the SAID principle. And this dictates that we get good at what we practice, all right? And we can't expect to build strength if we're focusing just on endurance. And likewise, we can't expect to build endurance if we're focusing on just strength. There's going to be some carryover, okay, but you're going to adapt to the stimulus that you're asking your body or you're putting your body through, all right? Now, the reason I bring this up is because last year, around about this time, I put together a heap of training programs or training sessions, on my YouTube channel as we went into lockdown. That would allow people to continue focusing on all elements of strength and conditioning whilst they were locked up at home with either no equipment or very minimal equipment. So I put together training sessions using kettlebells, using suspension trainers, skipping rope, glide boards, and just body weight based movement and bands as well. All right, so you can find all of those on my YouTube channel at Performance Functional Training. This video is actually going to be up on the YouTube channel as well. All right, but the reason I bring that up is because when you have minimal equipment or no equipment, you're pretty limited with the exercises that you can do. Your exercise selection gets cut right down. All right, so this is where looking at the different variables, which might be tempo, time under tension, range of movement. Okay, are we focusing on mind-muscle connection, which will be more of a hypertrophy adaptation, which is building muscle? Am I focusing on a strength adaptation where the goal is to produce as much force as possible? Am I focusing on a speed adaptation, which is producing rapid amounts of force? Am I focusing on a power-based adaptation where I'm producing high amounts of force rapidly? Am I focusing on an endurance-based adaptation where I'm looking to build stamina and sustain repeated efforts over long periods of time? All right, so let's take the push-up as an example. Now, I think I put together like 15 or 16 training sessions using that equipment, okay, focusing on all the different elements. We were focusing on hypertrophy, building muscle, strength, speed, power, endurance, energy system conditioning, all right, but a lot of those training sessions had push-ups in them, okay, but how I was doing those push-ups was different for each session depending on what the goal was. So let's take a strength-based session, for example. I'm going to take a push-up. I'm going to hit that top position. I'm going to squeeze the fuck out of my chest and think about generating as much tension as I can from my wrist right through the chest and the shoulders to the opposite wrist, okay? Then maintaining that tension, I'm going to come nice and slow down to that bottom position and then drive back up, maintaining as much tension as I can throughout that full range of movement. I might do that for, 3 to 5 to 6 reps, okay, where I'm generating as much tension as I can. That is going to be a good strength adaptation. Now, if I want to focus on hypertrophy and the goal is to build my pecs, build my chest muscles, then I might do the same thing, but I'm going to drop down to my knees so that I'm taking the tension away from the shoulders, taking the tension away from my abs, my core, my arms, etc. So I can get a little bit more targeted focus and concentration on the pecs. So I'm going to drop to my knees. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to think about squeezing my arms towards each other, firing my pecs, really focusing on that mind-muscle connection, all right, through that full range of movement. And now I'm going to do this. I'm going to probably pick the pace up a little bit. And maybe I might focus on that mid-range where I'm not going all the way up. I'm not going all the way down. I'm staying in that mid-range where I'm getting some pulse reps there where I might hit 8 to 12 reps there with roughly, 40, 45, 50 seconds time under tension there. All right. If I'm going into a power-based push-up, now what I'm doing is focusing on producing high amounts of force, but rapidly. So I might come down fairly slow and controlled, hit that bottom position, boom, I rebound out that bottom position, and I might hit a clapping push-up here. Okay, I might do them on my toes. If I'm strong enough to do that, I can do them on my toes, okay? But if I can't be fast there, I might have to drop to my knees, okay? And I might do, say, 5 reps on my toes and then maybe another 5 reps on my knees so that I can maintain that power-based movement. All right, if I'm focusing on speed, upper body speed, if I'm working with a fighter, for example, I'm going to take that same push-up, but now I'm going to hook a band around a rack or a tree branch or something above me. I'm going to step into that band and get down into that push-up position. Now that band is wrapped around my chest. As I push up, that band is assisting me. So now I can move even faster. All right, so again, I might drop to my knees here, and the goal is to be nice and explosive. I'm coming down fast, boom, chest touches the ground, I explode back up, and the goal is, again, move as fast as possible. Now, if I want to build endurance, this is what most people do when they do push-ups, is they just bang them out. All right, they're not paying any attention to mind-muscle connection. They're not paying any attention to form, technique, range of movement, speed of movement, how much force they're producing, etc. Okay, this is where most people go, is to the endurance-based push-ups. So this is what everyone does. Okay, just bang out whatever, 20, 30, 40, 50 reps. We're kind of pushing it towards your limit without allowing technical breakdown. All right, so again, it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. So if you go onto my YouTube channel, have a look for those training sessions using minimal equipment. Okay, that'll give you really good examples of how you can do the same exercises, complete them a little bit different, changing the different variables, and that's going to give you or elicit a different response. All right, that's it for today's 5-minute fitness tips, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you pass it off to your friends and family. Any 5-star ratings and reviews are much appreciated. Much love. Peace.